All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Rod, Marcos, Stewie. Welcome, everybody that is viewing this meeting. We're live. We are live here on Zoom, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the different social media platforms. Welcome to another magical day of Divine Fi. It's awesome. So many beautiful things are happening here in our beautiful ecosystem, and we're currently in 17 countries and
Wow.
counting.
17. Whoa. Hold on. I'll just get myself together here. Woo-hoo. Rock and roll,
Yeah.
brother. Rock and roll.
Yes, awesome. We're doing it together, like just amazing leaders like yourself, Tui, Marcos, Rod, everybody that's really contributing to the overall vision is really coming together. It's so interesting that we're still in pre-launch. Things are not even where we want them to be, and it's always expanding. So it's really, really amazing what's happening. And we are really just at the very tip of the iceberg. It is 5 a.m. over here in Dubai. I'm super hyped up. As always, it's just, when you're living with fulfillment and passion, it's nothing can really slow you down. And it's just awesome to see you guys out there just in the field and just sharing this mission from your heart and affecting so many people. Shout out to Miss Ella, who just hit the first rank on her birthday. Congratulations, New Zealand's on the map. And all the other leaders that are out there in the field and really just here, just spreading it, with open arms, open heart, and reaching all the right people. So I'm excited. And with that being said, I'm going to share my first video, which I like doing this now because it gives everyone that's brand new a chance to really get a little teaser on what we're creating. So if you've not seen this before, you're in for a treat, and we'll get this rolling.
Do you ever feel like you're not reaching your full potential? Like you're stuck in a rut, both personally and professionally? Imagine a life where you wake up every day excited with true freedom. You're living in abundance and experiencing the power of AI technology for financial freedom. Welcome to Divinfi. We're here to guide you on a journey of instant transformation to the highest state of consciousness while using AI to eliminate financial stress. You've heard of self-driving cars, but have you heard of self-growing bank accounts? At Divinfi, it's not just about working hard. It's about transforming your entire life and accessing your infinite potential. Join a community of true freedom and fulfillment. Get back to the person who shared this video with you for more information. Welcome to Divinfi, Consciousness and Currency.
Welcome to Divinfi, Consciousness and Currency. And I'm going to share this next video with you guys. If you've not seen this, it's absolutely awesome as well. And I just love this mission that we're on, both consciousness and currency. It's not one or the other, it's both. And I'll share a little bit about my story and my journey and how I came to really be a part of this system, just like you guys. And it's absolutely amazing what's happening here. It's just, like I said, we're in 17 countries already. Yesterday we just got into El Salvador, which is absolutely awesome. El Salvador is all about um the Bitcoin, right? It's all about Bitcoin. It's all about really starting to decentralize and give the power back to the people. So that's really in alignment with what we're creating. And so let me share this next video, and hopefully this will get the wheels in your mind turning as well if this is the first time watching it. So let's see. Okay, there you go. Share sound, optimize video. Okay, awesome. Hopefully this works. All right, hold on. I don't know why my never mind. We'll do this later. My music, my sound has not been sharing properly, so I'll figure this out at another time. But like I said, and like that video ended with, it said consciousness and currency. So that's what we're all about. It's about both. It's about having the financial freedom, having the passive income, and then also having this high level of consciousness, which I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. And maybe you're just you never heard of anything like this, especially if you've been around the industry like myself. It's not really talked about. It's not really talked about, right? It's like it's always just only about the money. It's only about the opportunity. And so we're going to share something that's a tad bit different. I'll say a lot bit different and completely revolutionary when it comes to the world in general. So I want to welcome you to the biggest launch in history. And so, like I said, our vision is to create an ecosystem that's bringing freedom to all 8 billion people here on Earth. And so freedom isn't just financial freedom, but it is a piece. It's definitely a piece. We need that to affect change in different places. And then we want to help people with location freedom, time freedom, and most importantly, the emotional freedom to really sustain and to hold it all together, because you one without the other is the void. And I'll give you a little backstory if you don't know who I am. My name is Sam Hidja. If this is your first time viewing this information, um, I want you to know that I am just like you, right? I've just been around the block a couple of times, and so just a little bit of my story so you can kind of get the full picture. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 12 years. I got started in the car exporting business, and at the age of 18, I started to do pretty well financially. I earned my first six figures, and that kind of opened my mind up to more, because I saw my family struggling ever since I was young. We grew up in a very low income household. I'm a Palestinian American. We came to the States with literally, I mean, my dad borrowed $1,000. He had $1,000 to his name. He had two kids. He came to the States, and we lived a very humble lifestyle. So I thought money was going to be the thing that freed me. And then I got to where I thought I needed to be, which, at 18, earning six figures a year was pretty good. But then I realized that it wasn't everything, because I was working 80 hours a week, traveling all over the States, in Canada, and I was buying cars and sending them overseas to places like Dubai, like Saudi Arabia, and different countries in Africa, the Dominican Republic, and all these places. And so I also started losing my health. Um, Literally lived off of cigarettes. I smoked a pack a day, and I drank probably like 4 or 5 Red Bulls a day. So, I mean, you see me now, you're like, okay, I can't even believe that, but believe it. That was my diet. And that's where I was on the consciousness side of things. And so I got introduced to a guy named well, I'm not even gonna say his name. Okay, so it doesn't matter. But he was a little bit older than me, okay? And he was living this lifestyle that you would see in movies. He was flying on private jets, he had 3 supercars, and he was only like 2, 3 years older than I was. And I'm like, dude, how the heck are you living this lifestyle? And I heard this a long time ago. It's like if you ask someone for or if you take someone's advice in life, you'll get the results. And so I was like, okay. And I would only really take advice from people I would switch lives with, right? That was kind of my mentality. And so I ended up really like listening to him. He mentored me, he helped me, and I got into different industries. I got into network marketing, affiliate marketing, direct sales, e-commerce, forex trading, crypto trading, coaching, rental arbitrage, all of these different industries. And I did pretty well. I earned millions of dollars in my career, and it helped dozens and dozens of people earn, upwards of six figures a year. So I did pretty well from that perspective. I started traveling the world. I went to 25 different countries, I'm 30 years of age, so I've been to 25 different countries. I've traveled to like 47 states in America. I've been to dozens and dozens and dozens of cities, and really just got to live life on my own terms. Um, and yeah, life was interesting, and then back in June 2023, I was married at the time, and my wife and I, we decided to go and travel to Southeast Asia and East Asia. So we just started traveling. I had systems built already in the States, and so I was just earning income without working. Like I probably worked 5, 6 hours here and there, taking like one-off phone calls and whatnot. So it was pretty fun. But then I realized that there was something missing, and it started to become really, really apparent. And what happened was I started to develop really bad anxiety, depression. I was having panic attacks, even though, I was like, people would look up to me and they're like asking me for advice and helping them with their personal development. And I couldn't breathe in the mornings, which is funny because I was also helping some of my teams with something called, it's like a form of, it was a modality called breath work, right? And it was really powerful, but it still didn't help, right? Like all the personal development, the thousands of books, the seminars and workshops, and all of these different leadership workshops and plant medicine and breath work and coaching, energy work, all of that didn't help me in these moments where I started to have these crazy panic attacks. And it got so bad that I actually thought about ending my life, which is crazy to think because I've never been like that. I've never really been anyone that would ever even complain, right? You'd never hear me complain about anything. But that's how bad it got. And I even contemplated about jumping off the 48th floor of the penthouse that I was staying at in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So it got so bad, I thought about ending my life. And I heard this before, and it's so true that humans were motivated by two things, either inspiration or desperation. And for me, I got really, really desperate to the point where I wanted to take my life. And so I knew things had to change, and if you're listening to this, for things in your life to change, you have to change something. Something has to change, right? And so um after that moment in Kuala Lumpur, I ended up actually going through a divorce. I walked away from a marriage that was no longer serving me. I ended up actually going to jail because I was actually very addicted. I suffered from addiction. I was smoking marijuana every day for 12 years. And you can kind of think cause or effect. Was the weed affecting the panic attacks, or was it was it an effect of the panic attacks I was smoking weed? Who knows? And so, you know, um, I went to jail in Bali, Indonesia. I got put in jail for 6 days and then 17 days in a rehab facility, which I never really even shared this. It got so bad that I actually ended up not sleeping 10 days straight. I didn't sleep 10 days straight in that rehab and actually ended up going to the hospital. And like things got really, really, really bad. And then by the end of it, I had to pay them $50,000 US just to get out of rehab and jail or whatever, right? So I ended up getting out of that whole situation. And by the way, I realized that I put myself in jail because I had told myself I wanted to stop. And we are so powerful that the things that we think about most of the time we create in our life. So I'm so grateful for that experience because I wouldn't be here. And so after getting out of that situation, I actually got a call from Mr. Jamie. He is the CEO of Divinfi here, and he's like, "Hey, you need to come to the Philippines and you need to meet with Don." And I met Jamie online. We had been Facebook friends, and I met Don through Jamie via Zoom probably about a year before that. So I ended up going from Bali, Indonesia to meet this guy, Don Smith. And this guy, Don, is unlike anyone that I've ever met. And he is basically, he has the #1 transformational program in the world. And he's been developing it since the last 44 years, he's been piecing it together, using it on his different clients. He's worked with billionaires. He's worked with elite athletes at the Olympic level in 15 different sports. He's worked with the guys that created the BlackBerry. He had a contract with them, and he worked with 60 plus other C-class executives. And he helped them go from $6 billion to $68 billion company. So safe to say that he's worked with a lot of the top people. He's worked with people with crazy diseases and so on and so forth, cancer and all this. And after Don actually ended up losing both his wife and his daughter due to cancer, they didn't want to do this process because it's usually the people that are closest to us that have this resistance to us because they knew who we were. They didn't know who we are and who we were becoming. And so with that being said, like Don wanted to help people and he wanted to help humanity in general. So he had been working to help raise the consciousness of the planet. And so that was his main focus. And so he started working with Jamie, and they ended up going all over the world just giving this away, which Don had been getting people to pay him $1 million for a session. In fact, there was this one guy, he was a billionaire. His name was Tim. He paid Don $1 million to work with him for 2 hours. And so Don works with this guy, Tim. Tim had 5 addictions. He was addicted to alcohol, gambling, sex, food, and drugs. And within 2 hours, Don helped him get rid of all of his addictions. Tim was going through a divorce. The divorce was no longer on the table. Tim had so much anxiety that he literally did not fly on his $100+ million jet. So after the process, Tim's entire life changes, everything shifts for the better. And Don, after just working with all these kind of people for so many years, he just really decided to work with everyone that was willing to go through the process. And so I worked with him. I paid him a pretty penny as well. Actually, he charged me $15,000 US. And it was absolutely worth it. And so when I went through the process, all the addictions that I had, right? I was addicted to marijuana, like I said. I was addicted to sex. I would have like several girlfriends at one time. I was addicted to money, travel, people pleasing, validation, all of these things, which are really just taking the power from within us and putting them outside of us. That's really what it is. He helped me realize where my power truly came from, and he helped me understand who I am. Right. And so my life completely shifted from doing this process with Don. And even more money's come into my life. My businesses are doing amazing. The energy levels, the clarity, the knowingness is just unlike anything that I've ever experienced. And some of the people on this call have done the process, so they know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I'll give you a little bit more insight in what happens in this process. And so there's this chart right here. It is called the chart of consciousness, which was created by a guy named Dr. David Robert Hawkins. So Dr. Hawkins wrote a book called Power versus Force. And in Power versus Force, he states that all of our emotions, I would even say our emotions, because they're not our emotions, they're just emotions that we experience, right? And so all emotions are on a scale that go from 0 to 1,000. Shame being at 20, fear is at 100, courage is 200, enlightenment is from 700 to 1,000, and all the different emotions in between. Okay, very simple. So we all know who Hitler was and what he did. Hitler was at a level 50 consciousness. And you can directly correlate that the level of consciousness that he was at was exactly why he did what he did. And then all of the great teachers and masters like Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Muhammad, Zoroaster, all of them were at a level 1,000, and they were preaching to us that our natural state is one of enlightenment. One of enlightenment. That was our natural state. That is our natural state, but we just aren't able to access it due to certain things, which I'll explain in just a moment. Now, 80% of the world, 80% is actually underneath this line right here, which is the 200. And the average, I would say, is about 210. If you add up the entire world, the average is about 210. But 80% of it is actually underneath this line. And I would say most people operate from the level of 100 consciousness, fear. They're afraid of losing their partner. They're afraid of losing their job. They're afraid of losing their life. Right. And whenever you truly understand the truth and you know the truth, you know that this body that you're in is not you. It's like you get into a car, you don't assume that you are the car. You think and you know that you are driving the car. And so your body is similar to the car. Your consciousness drives your body. It animates your body. So the body is something that is finite, but the spirit is eternal, and that is who you truly are. Okay, so what happens in the process is that Dawn helps you release the very first moment in your life where you had a quote unquote trauma. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you got beat. It can literally mean, for example, let's say you were riding on your bike and you fall down. That shocks you and it keeps you in this lower level of consciousness. Okay. That's all it is. Before the age of 7, your mind, your subconscious mind is wide open. Everything becomes a program. So that's really all it is. And he helps you release it. Okay. Very, very simple. So imagine you're at the very bottom of the ocean. Let's say that the ocean is zero. The very bottom of the ocean is the zero consciousness. And you have a anchor. You have an anchor attached to you. And you're trying to swim to the very top, which is enlightenment. But every time you go 30%, the anchor brings you back down to zero or wherever it is, right? Maybe it's a 125 like myself, right? I was at a level 125. That's why I had all of the addictions and why I would constantly create all this wealth and then I would give it away. I would figure out a way to self-sabotage myself. So that's what 99.99% of people are doing. They're self-sabotaging their finances, they're self-sabotaging their health, their relationships, and no one really, unless I mean, that's why I say 99.99%. The only people that really are not operating this way are the people I would say that are probably meditating all day, every day in the mountains. Okay, so Don has the only process on earth that I know of. Maybe there's someone else. I don't know. I've never heard of him where he can actually help you release whatever it is that's holding you in this toxic, self-sabotaging victim mentality and toxic poverty pattern and helps you get to your natural state of enlightenment. So it's really powerful. You just start to everything's just starts to you're at the right place at the right time with the right people. All the right opportunities come to you at the exact perfect time. I can't explain it. It's something that you have to experience for yourself. And so Dawn actually has 2 classes a week when you join our ecosystem. Tuesdays are for new clients and Thursdays are for existing clients. So if you want to if you want to do the process, we'll give you a chance for you to be able to be a part of our ecosystem here in just a few minutes so I can explain to you how this will work and how you can get access to this. Now, this is the consciousness side of things. Now I'm going to talk about the currency side because one without the other is not enough. You need both the consciousness, the high level of consciousness, and the currency so you can actually affect the world in a positive place. And so, in the video I showed earlier, it talked about how nowadays people can literally trust AI so much that they're willing to take their hands off of the steering wheel, like in their Tesla or whatever car that has AI capabilities. And so the question is why can't we trust AI enough to allow it to grow our bank accounts? And that's exactly what we have here. We have an AI, a real legitimate AI with deep learning capabilities, so it gets better and better over time. And it's called Apollo, and it's doing 20 to 50% returns every single month. This is the range that we've seen it doing over the last couple of years. And so it's simple. It's just a simple connection in your crypto wallet, and you can just watch your money grow for you. There's 1,000% minimum deposit in this AI. It used to be 100,000, but we asked the developer and we're like, hey, we need to get it lower for our community. He said, okay, $10,000. We said, hey, that's too much. Not everybody has 10,000 they can invest. So he dropped it down to $1,000 minimum. But the caveat is that there's a 50-50 split between you and the developer, which you're required to pay him every month between the 20th and the 25th of every single month. So I'll explain to you here in a little bit how that'll work. But just so I can make sure that we're on the right page, past performances are not indicative of future results. Just because we've seen it do 20 to 50% returns per month doesn't necessarily mean that it will always do that. It's not a guarantee. Can it do less than 20% in the month? Sure. Can it do more than 50% in a month? Yes. It's actually done 51% in the last like 3.25 weeks. Okay, so it really depends, and we've seen some months where it's at 70-80%. Just know that there's always risk when it comes to investing, and so I'm going to talk about the compounding, the power of compounding, right? So Albert Einstein, really smart guy, right? We all know him. He said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So I'm going to show you the power of compounding here in just a moment. So if you are aware right now, the US dollar is losing about 1% in purchasing power every single month. And it doesn't matter where you live. If you're in Australia, if you're in South America, if you're in Europe or Asia, it does not matter, because the US dollar is the currency that all the other currencies are pegged to. So I'm going to show you this compounding calculator, and I'm going to show you what the power of compounding can do for you. So let's say you started with a minimum of $1,000 investment. You want to test it out. So you're like, okay, I'll throw 1,000, the minimum. So you start with 1,000. Let's say it does 20% in a month, right? You're doing a 50-50 split with the developer. So if you did 20% on $1,000, that's $200 profit. You would split that in half. 100 goes to the developer and 100 would go to you. So that's 10%, 10% interest per month. Okay. So let's do 10% per month. And let's do it for 5 years. And what you want to think of Apollo is you want to think of it as a savings account. Okay, so you just think of it as a savings account, a place where your money can compound and grow safely, where it's actually able to beat inflation. Because in 1 year, due to inflation, if you just have your money in a savings account, your money's losing 12% in a year. So that's why you go to the grocery store and you see you're able to buy less and less groceries for the same amount of money, right? It's because of inflation. So let's look at this. So at $1,000 initial balance, it would take you 8 months to 2x your investment. So to go from $1,000 to $2,000, it would take 8 months. Okay, very cool. Now after 5 years, you would have $304,481.64. Okay, very, very cool. Now, like I said, we did 51%. So let's say you split, let's say 50%, round it down, 50% a month. We'll split that because you have to do your split with the developer. And I'm not saying it's going to do this. I'm just trying to show you the power of compounding. So from 1,000 to 2,000, it would take 4 months. And after 5 years, you would have $652,530,000, $446.80. Okay, very, very cool. This is the power of compounding. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but what I'm trying to show you is the power of compounding and the power of allowing your money to work for you. Okay, very, very cool. So let's talk about being an entrepreneur and an investor. There's this guy right here. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote a couple of books. The first one is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Second one is Cash Flow Quadrant, which is this book. And the third book was called The Business of the 21st Century, which he was talking about network marketing, which is what we have built our entire system around. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. So in the cash flow quadrant, he talks about there's 4 ways that you can earn income. So let's say you're an employee. Okay, let's say you work at a smoothie shop. You have a job and you're trading your time for money. So you work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. Very simple, right? You know, you have really no leverage, but you have a little bit of you have that dependence. You know you're going to get paid every single Friday, so on and so forth. And this might trigger some of you guys, but this is the truth, and I have to keep it frank with you. Having a job is it is not guaranteed anymore because of what's happening with AI and robots. A lot of things are starting to shift. For example, I have a rental arbitrage business. I have properties all over the US. And so instead of having cleaners, what I'm looking into right now is robotics, right? Where they use AI and AR and they're able to clean the entire place without anyone being there, right? So all of my cleaners that I have, they're getting ready to be replaced. So it doesn't matter really what industry you're in. Eventually, your job will become obsolete. So it's important to start to find other ways to create income for yourself. And I'll show you some other ways that you can do that here in just a moment. Now, you're working at a smoothie shop, and let's say you want to open up your own smoothie shop. Okay, you want to open up your own smoothie shop. You're like, I want to be the boss. I'm going to open up my smoothie shop. So you become self-employed. Okay, so you open up the smoothie shop, and now you don't have a job anymore, but you actually own a job because you're the lifeblood of the business. And if you leave, your business will fail. You can't just take 5 months off and expect your business to be running. Even if you have several employees, you just don't have that kind of leverage. So the goal is to shift from this side of the quadrant to this side. This is where financial freedom happens. And these people right here, they get paid off of their efforts and their time, while these people right here get paid off of leverage. So as a business owner, you get paid off of other people's time and efforts and by utilizing and leveraging a system. So a system is an acronym, and it stands for saving yourself some time, energy, money. Saving yourself some time, energy, money. System. So let's talk about like McDonald's, right? McDonald's is a huge, huge business, right? Ray Kroc, the guy that actually turned it into a franchise and really started to make he bought it from the McDonald's brothers and he made McDonald's a worldwide brand. He says that McDonald's doesn't get paid off of burgers and fries, they get paid off of real estate. So he created this franchise model where they have a system and where you can purchase a McDonald's. Nowadays, it's $1.2 million to open up a McDonald's before overhead. And so you get the whole franchise model where they show you exactly how to build the business and to make sure that it's profitable. And that's why, if you go into McDonald's, you can see a 16-year-old or 17-year-old literally running the entire place because there's a system. So here as a business owner, you have a system where you're able to leverage other people's times and efforts. And I'll show you a way where we've created a system for you and you can leverage that system so you can have that same kind of leverage without having all of the overhead. Now, the last quadrant is the investor quadrant. And as an investor, you're not leveraging other people's time and efforts, you're leveraging your money. And with Apollo, you can leverage it And it doesn't take as much money as it once used to, right? Back in the day, the stock market, you would have to invest like $1 million+. 7, 8 years ago, when I started to try to get really intrigued in the investing space, I asked my mentor, he was from Singapore. He had hedge fund there, and they were trading billions of dollars, and asked him like, hey, can you please teach me how to invest? He said, you need a minimum of $100,000 that you're willing to lose. So nowadays you can get started with $1,000 or even less. So there's no better time to be an investor. And if you don't have $1,000 in disposable income, we're going to show you a way that you can actually create and generate that income and start to get into the financial freedom quadrants. So if you want to get started with us and you want to use Don's amazing priceless transformation and you want to use Apollo, there's only one package. It's called the Freedom Pack. Okay, because we help you get the financial, time, location, and the emotional freedom, which you all deserve. So it's $149 startup, meaning one payment of $149, and then it's $99 per month. You get amazing results from Don's program. You get amazing results from Apollo. Guess what? We're social creatures. You're gonna want to share them with other people. It's selfish of you to keep it to yourself. Just refer 3 people, and your membership is absolutely free. So just 3 people that you refer, and your membership is free. So you get a free membership. Awesome. So let's talk about how you can actually turn this into a business, and you can actually create a worldwide business just like we have, where now we're in 17 countries. We're like barely a month in, right? So we'll talk about that here and how we've created a system for all of you to be able to, number one, create an infinite income potential. You can earn anywhere from $100 a month all the way up to $4 million every single month, meaning you can surpass the top CEOs in the world, right? Number two, you can earn a weekly residual income, meaning you can build this one time and get paid over and over and over and over again, if not forever. And so if you don't know what residual income, if you've never experienced it, it's one of those things that will change your life forever. I've been literally living off of residual income, passive income, for the last like 8, 9 years. And it's completely changed the way that I look at the world. I could never work a job again just because, imagine yourself just being on the beach, earning income, or being on vacation or with your family or at the gym or whatever, doing the things that you truly love and still earning income, not having to clock in and clock out. So the third thing is that there are no qualifications or experience needed here. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be smart or handsome or cute. All those things are great, but none of that matters. You don't have to have a great resume. You don't have to go to an amazing college or university like Yale. And you could have been like me and you could have went to jail. Okay? Doesn't matter. Okay? Doesn't matter if you had a 4.0 or a 0.4, right? Like I remember at one time I had such a bad, like I have like, or at least I had an addictive personality where, I was addicted to alcohol at one point as well. Add that on top of everything else that I had. And my blood alcohol levels were probably higher than my GPA at one point. And that doesn't matter, right? Because whatever happened in the past is in the past. Right here, it's all about what you can create. And there's really 2 qualifications that I think that you need to really go far. It's number one, having an open mind, being coachable, and then having the willingness to change and to share with others, right? Because if you knew if you knew how to get the results that you wanted, you would have already got them, right? So you need to be willing to take in different information and start to shift things in your life. And so the last thing is that there are team building incentives. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. You have a whole system, a whole community that's here to support you in your journey and help you get where you want to be. So I'm going to talk about the rank reward bonus. Okay, so there's A couple of things you got to know. There's a rank name. This is what you would like if you were in a corporate sense, it'd be your corporate role. There's a network size. And whenever it comes to any business, whether you're a doctor or a health coach, it's all about creating a network of clients. You only get paid off of the network of clients that you create. So, for example, if you have fitness plans, or if you're a doctor, right, you have certain clients that are coming to you every once in a while, and they're getting either services or products or meal plans or whatever. And so it's always about the building of a network, no matter what business you're in. Now, there's the personal referrals. This means like the people that you personally refer into the system. And then there's 3 ways that you get paid. Okay, so this should say weekly payout, just like here, weekly payout. We're having our guy fix that. So weekly payout, that's paid out once a week, every Friday. There is the one-time rank bonus, and so this is paid out once a month. And then there's the direct bonus, which is normally $50 per membership that you personally refer, but we're making it $100 per membership until we're done with pre-launch, just as a way to thank all of the trailblazers and pioneers of the system. So if you want to hit inviter, how do you get to inviter? You need 2 on your left team, 1 on your right, so that's 3 total. And out of these 3 total, you need 1 on your left, 1 on your right. So let's say you got your mom in, your dad in, your mom on your left, your dad on your right, and your dad invites his sister. Now you have met the qualifications. You're an inviter. You're earning $25 a week, which is $100 a month. Let's say you did this in your first month. You just earn $100 from the personal referral side. And then you got paid $100 for your mom, $100 for your dad. That's $300 that you earned in your very first month. Absolutely awesome. Now, Connector 200, the way that you're going to hit Connector 200 is by focusing on Inviter. So you're going to make sure that everybody in your team is hitting Inviter. Okay, so you're helping your mom and your dad hit Inviter. Once you have 4 on your left team, 4 on your right team, you still only need those 2, your mom and dad. You're getting paid $50 a week, which is $200 a month. Now you're getting paid a one-time rank bonus of $200. Awesome. Connector 500, same thing. 10 on your left, 10 on your right. You're focusing on your mom and your dad, helping them hit Inviter, and they're helping their team how to hit Inviter. Now you have 10 on your left, 10 on your right. Only 2 need to come from you. That's $125 a week, which is $500 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $500. And so if you wanted to create $500 in residual income, one way that you could create residual income is, let's say you took and you got a loan for $250,000. You bought a house. The mortgage is $1,500. You're renting it out for, let's say, $2,000. You're just earning $500 in residual income. So if you want to create that much money, you can either leverage $250,000, or you can refer to, teach them how to do the same thing, so on and so forth. Now you're earning $500 a month. So shout out to Tui out of Australia. He hit this rank in his first month. Absolutely awesome. Literally more money in this system than he would be earning from a what is it called? From a $250,000 asset. Chris Tran out of Vancouver, Canada, is right around the corner from hitting Connector 500. He just helped some of his team. Miles out of the Philippines hit Inviter. Congratulations. He also helped Vanessa also hit Inviter. And then we got plenty of other people. We got Max at Connector 200. We got Ella also just hit Inviter out of New Zealand. We have plenty of people ranking up. So it's not a theory. This is something that's happening, and it's happening fast. So if you're ready to start ranking up, make sure that you're following the system that we have in place. And if you don't know what that is, reach out to the person that invited you, and we'll make sure that you get the results that you want. It obviously is network marketing. So there is some work that is involved. It's not net sit on your ass, twiddle your thumbs marketing, right? It's network marketing. Okay. So there is a little bit of work, but we made it as simple as possible for the everyday average person, just like you and I, to be able to come in here and absolutely make a either part-time, full-time, or big-time income. And so let's say we hit connector 900, same thing. As you can tell, 10 on your left, 10 on your right, it just doubles. So you're just teaching everyone how to hit inviter. And once you have 20 on your left, 20 on your right, still the same too, your mom and your dad, you're earning $225 a week, which is $900 a month, and then you get a one-time bonus of 900 bucks. Awesome. Connector 1500, 40 on your left, 40 on your right. And what changes here is that you need to bring 2 in personally on your left and 2 on your right. And then you're getting paid $375 a week, which is $1,500 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $1,500 one time. Awesome. And then it just continues to grow and grow and grow. So as you start to help other people in your team hit these ranks, you're going to start to hit the higher ranks. So really what it is what Zig Ziglar says. He says, if you focus on helping as many people get what they want, you will get everything that you want. So the name of the game is service, service, service. How can you be of service to other people and help them achieve what they need to achieve? And that will help you get where you want. And I don't know another system that's just as amazing as this, where it's a win-win-win. Everybody wins. And the more you help other people win, the more that you win. And so it really is a divine system. And that's why we decided to go with this rather than the traditional affiliate model, which we were actually going to go with, but we just realized that this is the way that we needed to go. And so moving forward, like I said, you can go big time or full time, right? So speaker 9K, you're earning $9,000 a month. Big time, you can earn that 25, 50, 75, $100,000 a month. And so it just depends on you, right? And so at speaker 25K, we actually open up a new bonus. So there's a fourth way you get paid. And so this is called the global pool bonus. So we take 1% of all the sales in the company all over the world, and we put it into a pool. So let's say it's $1 million that it equals out to. And let's say it's divided by 10 shares. Okay, so each person past 25K gets 1 share. So 10 shares divided by 1 million, that's $100,000 per share. So if you get 1 share and each share is 100,000, you would get an extra 100,000 per month. And then at the Master 750K, where you're earning $750,000 a month, you would actually get 2 shares. So past Master 750 to Archangel, you're getting 2 shares. So you would get 200,000 on top of whatever else you're generating. Okay, very, very awesome. So you can earn all the way up to $4 million a month. It really is up to you. And so, like I said, you can go part-time, you can go full-time, or you can go big time. So I'm excited to see all the people that get to the top of this comp plan. You guys that are here are really witnessing history. This has never been done. A system where we're helping the entire world raise its consciousness and also creating a financial vehicle for everyone to really start to focus on the things that really matter. Let's get the money conversation out of the way so you can focus on doing the things that are important to you, right? If you want to change the world, it starts with you first. Then that change ripple out. It's a ripple effect, right? It goes into your family, right? Then your community, and then your city, and then your state, and then your country, and then eventually the entire world. And so I'm excited. I'm honored to be here with you guys. And we really are in a really amazing time. And when it comes to business, even though I don't consider this a business, I consider this an ecosystem, a self-sustaining ecosystem that just rewards people for bringing value. It does have a business element to it, right? So in business, it's always about timing, timing, timing. And the timing has never been better than right now, right? Like they say the first best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is right now. So take advantage of this opportunity. Don't be that person that waits till tomorrow. You know, procrastination, you're only really screwing yourself, right? So get started right now. And, you know, I want you to imagine that you got started and you I actually heard this from Tony Robbins. He says that if you had purchased every single iPhone from the date that Apple came out with the iPhones, that would equal out to about $20,000. If you took that same amount and you invested it into Apple stock today, you would have stock that would equal $200 million. Okay, you would have a stock that would equal out to $200 million. So that's the exact same opportunity that you have right here with Divinfi. I don't even believe, I already know that this ecosystem is going to be a $1 trillion ecosystem, just supporting the world and helping New Earth come in to play. And so take advantage. And like I said, it's more than just a financial system. It's a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. So if you're ready to get started, get back to the person that invited you to this call and ask them for their unique link so they get the credit. And if you're watching this on Zoom, LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, just message the person, right? Message the person that you're watching this presentation on. And one last thing, I'm going to announce a couple of promotions. For those of you that don't know, we do have a couple of promotions. We're giving away some awesome prizes. So you'll have a chance to win some cool prizes. One moment. Okay, so we're giving away some GoPros, iPhones, and MacBooks. So if you bring 10 people directly into the system, you get a brand new GoPro. You bring 20 directly, you get a brand new iPhone. And if you bring 30 directly, you get a brand new MacBook. And this promotion ends on August the 18th. And same thing here, August the 18th. If you hit connector 1500, you get a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel where we're having our very first Divinfi event. And if you hit connector 3000, we give you an all-inclusive. So that includes the flight, the hotel, and the VIP access to the event. So it doesn't matter if there's 1,000 people, we're giving away 1,000 prizes no matter what. And if you want to stay connected, all things Divinfi, scan this QR code. We'll have our Telegram group. That's probably a really good place to start. Our Facebook group. That's also a great place to start. And then the Instagram and all the other platforms. But those three are probably the best. And that way you just kind of stay in the loop on what we're creating. We'd really appreciate if you follow them as well. So yeah, super excited. And what I'll do is I'll open up the call for some questions. If you have any questions, whether you're here on Zoom or any of the other platforms, just drop them below and make sure that you have all the information to make a decision, because I do know that your life begins with a decision. It's like, I'm going to do this no matter what. And, if you want things in your life to change, it means making a different decision. Okay. And there's a book called Think and Grow Rich that some of you probably have read or heard about, right? He talks basically, there's a guy named Napoleon Hill. He was brought on to go and study the 500 most successful people in the world at the time, like the Edisons of the world or the JP Morgans or the whatever. And so what he noticed and what he observed through talking to all of them, all of these people, these highly successful people in their given fields, they had something in common. And it was, number one, the ability to make decisions. And so they would make decisions very, very quickly, and they would change their minds slowly, if ever at all. And the failures, the people that failed over and over and over again, they might have been smart, but they took forever to make a decision, and they change their mind very, very easily, very, very quickly. So make a decision, get the info that you need, and just go all in. Whether it's a yes, whether it's a no, doesn't matter. Just make the decision. And yeah, so any questions? Angel, Gloria, Chris, Marcos, Rod, Tui, anyone else that is on Facebook or YouTube or any of the other platforms?
Yes, I got a question, Sam.
Sure, Marcos. How are you,
So,
bro?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good.
Hey, so the monthly payment to the developer, is that coming out of your profit, or is that gonna be like a separate payment that you have to set up?
And that's out of your profits. So let's say it's like you put 1,000 in there, and then let's say you earn 20% profit. So that would be $200, right? Profit. So you would pay him 100. You'd pay 50% of that.
That'll be automatically within that month time period, you said?
Yeah, so you have to send him the I guess the profit split. So it's sometime between the 20th and the 25th. And if you don't, he just turns off the AI. So
Okay, thank you.
it's really just a trust thing, right? So it's just like up to you. And if you want to use it, you use it. If not, then it is what it is. You're welcome, bro. Good to see you, by the way.
Good to see you too, bro. See you all the time.
We need to see you in Dubai.
We'll be there.
Heck yes. Awesome. All right, Angel C said that you didn't have any questions. Okay. And you're very, very welcome. If there's no other questions, no worries. We can end the call. And if you're already part of the system, just make sure that you are inviting people. It's really just as simple as, hey, I'm working on something amazing, a way to help you have freedom, right? You can check it out. You can send them. We have 2 videos. We just dropped them in the Telegram groups, in the Messenger. If they align, cool, and if not, it's all good. We're not here to force anyone. And eventually, as you build it, people will come, right? Build it and they'll come. So it really is just about exposure, exposure, exposure. Even if you've talked to people in the past about another opportunity, you just never know. Maybe they're at a time in their life where they're looking for change, right? I mean, I mean, like if Jamie didn't share with me the process that I did with Dawn, I wouldn't be alive. Okay, Gloria, so what is it that you need to understand so I can make sure that you have all the info? What exactly is it that you're not? I just want to make sure the marketing plan. Okay. So what about the marketing plan doesn't make sense? And if you want, just be here tomorrow. We can go into a little bit more in depth. If you have any specific questions, if you need to see the visuals, or if I'm not sure who referred you, by the way, actually, Gloria. Okay, yeah. And that's fine. It's not good. It might not make sense the first time you see it, but the Rod. Oh, Rod. Okay, awesome. Okay, so Rod, how about you throw me, you, and Gloria in a chat, like on Facebook or WhatsApp or Telegram, any of those, and then we can make sure that she has all the information that she needs to make a decision. Because this is the thing, you make a decision and then you figure it out along the way. If you see the vision, if you align with the overall purpose, you don't have to know all of the answers. I mean, my last business that I launched, I didn't know 90% of what I needed to know, but I said, okay, I see the vision. I'm gonna build it, and then I'll figure out the things I need to go along the way, right? Entrepreneurship, they say, is literally just jumping off of the cliff and then building the airplane on the way down. So you don't necessarily have to know all of it, just know enough to know if you align with the overall mission, and then you can figure it out as you go. A lot of people, they're here every day because they're still trying to piece it all together, and that's okay. So, Rod, throw us all in a group chat, and we'll make sure that Miss Gloria has all of the info that she needs to make a informed decision. Awesome. Great. Well, if there's no questions, we'll end it here. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. or that's here in 13 hours. And just make sure that you're here, you're inviting some people, and we'll get it rolling. And then I'll see you at 3 p.m. Sir Tui.
We're gonna be rocking it, brother. We're ready for you.
Do it. Online payments work still. Not yet. We had a couple of issues. Our Hong Kong payment processor needed a couple of things, so it should be working here the next 24 hours. So for now, still continue to do crypto. We should have that soon, ASAP, hopefully before the end of the week. But leaning more towards the next 24 hours, but just I'm not sure. You know how things happen here. So, and we are obviously still in pre-launch, so just getting everything rolling. So anyways, guys, infinite love. You guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you here in 13 hours.